Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your January readings. Now obviously these are very late, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be extending the time frame of this reading for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So let's go ahead and get started here with a card from my intuitive deck for Sagittarius for the next 4 to 5 weeks. I'm feeling a busyness, like you're going to be very busy, and well, we do have third house activation, which can often be busy. Okay, we've got the sun in the third house. We also had Pluto move into Aquarius as well. We're also going to have Mercury and Mars coming into Aquarius too within the next month or so. So there is a lot going on. I think you will have a lot of activity, a lot of social stuff can certainly come up. Don't forget you've got Jupiter in the 6th house still, so there probably is a lot concerning your work life. Maybe it's not the most exciting, and I've been saying this a lot to a lot of the other signs. This might not be the most sexy time, like astrologically. It's not the most juicy environment. I think right now it's really about productivity and focusing on progress and focusing on getting things done and checking off a lot of those to-do list items and really just, pushing things forward. As of January 27th, Uranus is going to station direct, which means all the planets are moving direct, which means we don't have any retrogrades kind of pulling us back in this moment. So I love the movement for you. I also really love third house energy in general because it is so creative and brainstormy. Like you may have some really cool ideas coming online. You may have a lot of, options in front of you that you can play with or tinker with or experiment with a little bit. And so there can be a lot of variety in your life right now too, doing a lot of things and having, just myriad outlets for you to enjoy your life. So I don't know, I'm not seeing anything negative with this first card. It just kind of suggests there's a lot going on. So let's see what else comes out for Sagittarius. I'm just seeing a lot of people as well, a variety of people, though I'm not necessarily seeing anything good or bad about that. Conclusions are within reach. Okay, well, this is kind of a nice card, especially if you have things that are open-ended and you're kind of waiting to hear from people or you're waiting for decisions to be made. Probably within the next several weeks, you'll have that. You'll have some sense of resolution. You'll be able to move on. You'll be able to take the next steps. You'll have some semblance of clarity, although you might not necessarily be able to see the whole thing or the whole picture, depending on, I guess, what you're thinking about, what area of life you're concerning yourself with right now. But I think you'll have enough information to at least progress to the next step. One thing I do love about that third house is it does have a restlessness to it. And we can get very antsy just kind of sitting there staying idle. And so when we have that sense of, okay, I really want to get this momentum going, we tend to be more enthusiastic with our actions. And when we do that, we tend to, see progress and results, which is always a good thing. So to me, with these two cards alone, and I know I haven't pulled out the tarot cards quite yet, but I kind of feel like this is a good launch pad month. And you'll be really happy with kind of the way things go. Now, I'm not saying everything is going to be perfect. Okay, there's likely to be some unexpected things just given the astrological environment, especially with Uranus stationing direct. People can be acting, in unexpected ways. But I don't know that that's going to really deter Sagittarius as a mutable sign. I think you really thrive in that kind of chaos. It's like, okay, well, things didn't go according to plan. All right, fine. We'll just find another way. It doesn't bring you down too much. And usually when things like that happen, you end up finding a better way anyway. So, all right. What are the tarot cards? The Devil reversed. What else for Sagittarius? Okay. All right, well, this has been a theme for the past several months, that this is just a more future-oriented time. especially now with the Sun and Pluto both in Aquarius. And as February goes on, Mars comes in, Mercury comes in, eventually Venus will come in. We just have a lot of Aquarius stuff. And then we're going to start pushing into Pisces late February and on into March. Now, this is a really significant time each year because what happens through the Aquarian and also Piscean archetype is this is where we start to detach from things. We start to separate and we start to take a step back and really reevaluate things, and we start dreaming of new things, and we start pushing beyond what's comfortable. And so it makes sense here with these two cards that you're releasing or detaching from something that has been maybe pretty there, pretty stable, pretty secure for a while. I think Pluto moving into Aquarius is just in general such a revolutionary moment that so many of us on an individual level, not even talking about global stuff, but as individuals, we are looking to revolutionize our lives. We're looking to level up. We're looking to, kind of leave the past behind, especially if it was a difficult past, especially if things were just really, really hard. And we're looking for things to be better. And I see that certainly with the 10 of coins, like you're looking toward what you want your life to be and not wallowing about what your life hasn't become yet. Generally speaking, because you're a Jupiter ruled sign, you do tend to have a more natural optimism, and you do tend to have a more naturally, expansive personality, but you are still a human being. We were all under the Pluto and Capricorn banner. And I think all of us had areas where we just couldn't really find a way out. We couldn't find a way out of our circumstances. We couldn't find a way out of our problems. And as many things as we may have tried, it may have also been like we can't, because sometimes that devil, it's like we can try all the things in the world and sometimes we just can't escape very well. It's really, really hard to do that. But I'm seeing the release of that with both of these cards. Now, there may be some relationships that are also being let go. This does not necessarily have to be romantic. I don't often see Six of Cups as being romantic. I see it more friendship or even siblings, family. Sometimes there can be a coworker kind of thing going on there, but I do kind of see, a distancing, especially if there were boundary issues, someone with whom maybe there were boundary problems, whatever it was, I do see you drifting away from it. But, the 10 of coins, I always say when it comes out, like you, the viewer, get to inject meaning into this card. The 10 of coins is like your vision board. It's what you see for your life, what you see for your lifestyle, the way you want to live, the freedom you want to have, all those, materialistic things as well. It's lifestyle, it's spirituality, it's material, it's all different types of things. And this, I think being really oriented toward that, oriented toward the dream, toward the goal, is going to help the detachment process make a lot more sense, and it's going to help expedite everything, and it's going to help you feel a lot better. Because sometimes, the devil, we sometimes cling to it and we don't even realize it's painful and it's hard, and yet it's also comfortable simply because it's what we know. And even for you, Sagittarius, who always embraces the unknown, again, you're still a human being, and so we all have these areas. But this is time for Sagittarius to truly find that liberation and to truly find that freedom. And it really is kind of like a see ya, wouldn't want to be a kind of vibe, saying goodbye to the last 15 years and welcoming the next 20-year era with open arms. And that's the Pluto in Aquarius era. Okay, strength. 8 of Swords. Queen of Cups. Okay. I'm loving the Queen of Cups, especially because this month, for some reason, with a lot of the other signs, I've been getting energies of other people, and it hasn't been the best Fortunately, I see really positive things coming from the Queen of Cups as someone who is emotionally supportive. This might be a spouse or a significant other. It might be someone with whom you're going into business with, or a creative partner, or some kind of collaboration. But the Queen of Cups is a really non-threatening energy. It's someone who can complement you very well, and they're not trying to control anything, okay? Usually a Queen of Cups has a special way of looking at things and a special way of offering advice and counsel in a way that can be constructive without it making you feel like you are a failure or something like that, right? They have a way of delivering the advice and counsel and even criticism in a way that makes you feel good about it, okay? The one thing I do like about Sagittarius is usually, unless there's a deep wound there somewhere, usually you can handle that direct approach pretty well. But I just feel like the Queen of Cups has, potentially has the potential to offer what you need to hear in the way you need to hear it, in a way that you absorb it and you understand it, you understand that perspective, and maybe you even see some truth to it. Because what I think she's going to point out has to do with the Eight of Swords, and it has to do with the ways that you're locked in. Now, I talked all about liberation and freedom, but it seems like, there's a person involved that's helping you see your own blockages here. And usually with the Eight of Swords, we're talking about thoughts and thought patterns. So this is someone who will likely come in and say, hey, well, have you thought of it like this instead of like that? Have you tried this instead of continuing to do that? And there might be some initial pushback at first from Sagittarius, just simply because whenever we're in this mode, sometimes we can get weirdly defensive because we want to think that we're so right. Well, I want to get to my 10 of coins and I see it going this direction. And then this person offers an outsider perspective and like, well, hey, maybe you could go this other way. And you may have that initial, it probably won't last that long, but it might be an initial trigger and say, well, but that's not the way I thought it was going to go. That's not the way I think it's supposed to happen. And so you can maybe feel a little bit of that, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But really, the universe is conspiring to help you get away from this blockage or away from this aspect of your life that has just remained the same for so long. And it's like, especially if this is something financial, like if you haven't been able to really break through some kind of a financial barrier, if that's been something that's been a struggle for you, this might be someone who offers like financial advice. And, again, you may fight for your original beliefs, but it's really about understanding that your original beliefs is what got you stuck in the first place. It's what got you to this place. And with the strength, now strength has been making quite the appearance. It's not one of the cards that commonly does that for me. So the fact that strength has been coming out over and over and over is telling me that people need to kind of buck up and kind of do some of the hard things, even if it makes you feel weak and vulnerable. Because usually when we are detaching from things and we are, evolving, there is a moment of vulnerability and we're not going to feel strong. We're not going to feel particularly in control, right? We're going to feel, it's just a really vulnerable place to be. Now, one thing I do love about the third house, and this has a lot to do with kind of just all the activity that's going on, is I often see a lot of courage come through this third house too. And because, this is kind of one of those houses that kind of has I don't know what the right word is. Because I always envision a little toddler who's just learning how to run around. running around the house, pulling out the pots and pans from the cabinets, putting things in their mouth, picking things up, right? Getting into all sorts of things. And there's kind of this feeling of omnipotence, right? You're just all powerful. You found like this new strength. And even though you are vulnerable, there's still this like, well, we can do it, and we're learning, and we're going for it. We're going to give it a shot. So that's one thing I do love about the third house in general. I think third house is one of my favorite houses, actually. So even though there's a vulnerability, it doesn't mean you're not going to be exhibiting courage, because I think you are and you will. Especially if you do have some kind of a new venture or a new idea or a new opportunity that's sort of presented itself, and you're like, you know what, maybe I really should go for it. And I think your Queen of Cups, we'll see what comes out in the bottom row, but I think your Queen of Cups will be really supportive of you taking risks, not necessarily because it matters whether or not you're going to succeed with the risk, but because taking the risk is going to help shake you out of this box. It's going to help shake up the energy. It's going to help shake up your environment. You're going to be around new people. I really do like people for you, being social. And I don't know how social you are naturally. Some Sagittarians are really extroverted. Some are really, I mean, it's kind of one of those signs, can really go either way. But I kind of feel a little bit more extroversion is better, meaning more helpful. Might be a challenge for some of you, but it will be helpful, and it will be, I guess we could say, leverageable, right? You go out, you meet new people, you get new opportunities, new jobs, you know, there are doors that open through that. So one thing is, if you're trying to change a circumstance in your life and you find yourself being really rigid and afraid to change the plan, that's you in the Eight of Swords. Tied up, blind, somewhat debilitated, and trapped in a prison of your own thinking. Your mind, as a thinking zodiac sign, right? Sagittarius, definite thinkers. As a thinking zodiac sign, sometimes we don't, even still, it's like we don't always realize sometimes. Okay, but I think it's going to become more apparent as the weeks go on. Pluto in Aquarius is challenging all of us in unique ways. So, third house is a thinking house too. So, okay, Five of Cups reversed. We have the Ace of Coins. So I love the Two of Coins because it really is about choices and priorities. And especially if you are finding yourself quite busy, you know, one of the things to consider is, with all this busyness, what are the things that are helping me and aiding me? And what are the things that are conducive to my 10 of Coins lifestyle that I'm wanting? Now, with the Two of Coins, I often see a dropping off. And remember, Aquarius, Pisces season, this is a time when we start to detach. This is the perfect time to really start eliminating things from your list. Okay, it's a perfect time to take yourself, you know, out of things that just don't, I want to say that don't serve you, but I don't even know that it's really all that self-involved. It's just kind of the unnecessary things, the extra things, or the extraneous things. It's just, you don't need to be straining yourself for no reason. Prioritizing the things that should be prioritized, and not really thinking too hard about it, okay? We have the Five of Cups reversed, which with the detachment makes sense because there might be a deep pain, a deep wound. I often see a lot of sorrow and grief, regret coming through that Five of Cups. And when it's reversed, kind of feels like maybe you're forgiving yourself, forgiving other people. You are accepting things that have happened. You know, you're not trying to change or, again, trying to control. I do think there is this this message of taking your hands off the wheel and not trying so hard to be in control. Sometimes when we are in this state, we kind of convince ourselves that we're not trying to control, that we're just trying to live our lives and we're trying to do things, in a certain type of way, more fluid, more flow and all that. But even in so doing, it's like we're trying to control the flow. We're trying to control the way that works. So I really am seeing a loosening of Sagittarius. It's very freeing, very liberating. We love a devil reverse for the liberation energy. It can feel like a huge weight has been lifted, and you may feel that in the weeks to come, especially as you do start distancing yourself. And the more and more you distance yourself from things that are not needed anymore, and you start prioritizing the things that are guiding you here toward the 10 of coins, I feel like there's this whole new zest for life that could be opening up. A whole new excitement, a whole new passion, a whole new... And I do like Aquarius for passion. I'm not going to lie, Aquarius season, because of its opposition with Leo. I do think there's a lot of self-expression that comes through the Aquarian archetype. There's a lot of creativity that comes through as well. And I just kind of see that opening door of possibility. And with the Ace of Coins, it feels like, yeah, there is something on the way. Now, this may be a little bit delayed with the reversal. This is not, this is great, but I also don't think you're sitting around waiting for this opportunity. What I think is happening is Sagittarius is just kind of living their lives and, kind of shuffling things around, maybe dedicating more time to one thing versus another, whatever the case is. And this will come in when it's ready and when it does. And this is an opportunity. It's something more concrete. Okay, it's actual money, like physical money. It's an actual job. Maybe it's an actual romantic partner if you're looking for that. Maybe it's, an opportunity to switch and I don't know, whatever. It's a lot of different things it could be. I think it is something that is wanted, that you do want and you will happily accept, but you're not doing things for that. Okay? When this does come in, it's probably going to come in during a time when you're kind of working through this vulnerable place and you're trying to gain your footing with this new way of thinking or this new approach, as you're releasing and forgiving and you're doing this whole kind of cleansing thing. And then it's going to come in. And I don't know how vital it is. We'll see what the clarifiers have to say, but I don't know how vital it is whether you take this or not. I think the Ace of Coins is just going to be a sign that you're doing something right. And whether you choose to take that Ace of Coins and nurture it into something more, it's going to depend on if you want to or not. But I don't think it matters whether you want to or not. It's more just like, hey, here's a sign. The universe is communicating with you saying you're changing, and therefore the things that come in are going to start changing as well. And the fact that it even comes in is a big sign too. Okay, that things are shifting, because it's really hard for things to come in with a Devil and an 8 of Swords and even a 5 of Cups. Really, really hard for things to come in during that. Okay, all right, let's pull out the clarifiers. Just for those of you who are new, we're going to pull out a whole bunch of new cards, and we're going to cover these in the comprehensive reading, and the link for that will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below. We usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards, so it's like a whole second half of the reading. So if you want to take a look, we're going to take a, I already said link in the description and comment thread. So let's take a look at the Devil, is what I meant to say. Take a look at the Devil card. What does Sagittarius need to know? 5 of Coins, Ace of Wands, and another Devil. I'm going to pull out one more card just because we got a repeat. Ooh, 8 of Swords reversed. Exactly. I love it. Confirms a lot of the things that I just said. Another Strength card. 4 of Cups. And the Empress. King of Swords reversed with the Fool. There is definitely something about your thinking. That's going to be a big point of focus for these clarifiers. Four of Wands. Three of Swords. The Magician. Seven of Swords. Page of Wands. Queen of Cups with the Emperor. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to take the two that I saw. Okay. Five of Cups. An Ace of Coins. Beautiful. Queen of Coins. I don't know why I'm saying all these suits wrong. Six of Wands, and now we have the Page of Cups. The Sun. And Death. I'm liking the Death card this month because of the Pluto transition. Finally, we have the Seven of Wands, Four of Coins, and last but not least, Five of Wands. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up. And if you want to join me again, link in the description box and comment thread down below. Thank you so much. You guys know I love and adore you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.